Welcome to Income After Hours, your guide to turning curiosity into currency. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the modern side hustle. And what we found, well, it's no longer just a temporary gig, it's becoming the definitive blueprint for financial security in 2026.
That's exactly the critical shift. I mean, for this deep dive, we didn't just look at platform numbers. We synthesized major global market reports, mountains of freelance platform data, and some really cutting-edge AI trend analysis. So our mission today is to distill all of that noise into a clear roadmap for you. Where's the real sustainable money? What skills are absolutely non-negotiable? And how can you apply this, like right now?
Right, because the gig economy hasn't just gone mainstream, it's the main stage. It used to be seen as the safety net you use between jobs, but now it's a strategic career path. It offers flexibility, scale, and honestly, surprisingly high earning potential. And this whole landscape is being reshaped by one massive force, AI. We really need to understand that shift.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, the sheer scale it's hard to overstate. We are officially talking about a global trillion-dollar market, not a hobby. When researchers look at just the online part, so people earning through platforms, the estimates for gig workers range from, say, 154 million to 435 million people worldwide.
That range alone is huge. It shows you how blurry the lines have become.
They're incredibly blurry.
So that's the global pool. But
Okay.
what about when we look at, the specialized knowledge worker? The numbers there are even more powerful, right?
Absolutely. So here in the U.S., skilled freelancers, we're talking writers, consultants, developers, designers, they earned an estimated $1.5 trillion in 2024 alone.
1.5 trillion.
And the trajectory is locked in. Projections show that over 52% of the U.S. workforce is expected to participate in some form of freelance work by the end of 2026. So this isn't the exception anymore. It's becoming the foundation.
Okay, but hang on. If more than half the country is freelancing, doesn't that just flood the market? Doesn't that crash the rates for everyone? What's a real why behind this?
That's a really sharp question. And the answer, it seems, isn't desperation. It's strategic risk management. We're seeing this mass adoption of the side hustle as a hedge, a financial hedge. The job market has been totally restructured by tech. I mean, 86% of major companies are citing AI as the primary driver of internal change.
So workers are essentially buying financial insurance against career disruption. If your main job is shifting under your feet, that second income stream gives you crucial protection.
Exactly. And the financial buffer it provides is significant. The average U.S. side hustler earns about $891 a month, an extra $900 a month. I mean, for a lot of people, that's the difference between a crisis and truly thriving, or just hitting a savings goal.
And here's where the data gets really surprising to me. 45% of side hustlers actually come from households earning over $100,000. So this is not just about survival income. This is about affluent households diversifying their income to manage risk.
They're using the side hustle as a sophisticated financial instrument. And the outcome is this fundamental shift in what a career even is. Work is moving toward what we call portfolio careers. So instead of one job at company X, you have a balanced portfolio, maybe an anchor client, a digital product running on its own, and a small consulting gig. That combination actually provides more stability than relying on a single employer.
Full-time no longer equals stability. It can often just mean restriction.
That's the new reality.
Okay, so if the threat of disruption is the driver and AI is the disruptor, then the core truth for everyone listening is pretty stark. AI isn't replacing freelancers. It's replacing freelancers who don't use AI. Let's get into the specific skills needed to survive this.
That is the AI mandate, 100%. Tools like ChatGPT, Jasper, Midjourney, they are now standard extensions of the workflow. You have to see them as efficiency multipliers.
So for anyone listening and trying to figure out where to focus their energy, we broke down the AI skill set into two tiers. Let's start with the foundational skills, the AI starter pack.
The foundation is all about effective interaction and verification.
First up, prompt engineering. This is becoming as essential as writing a good email. It's about knowing how to talk to the model precisely, breaking down complex tasks, providing context, and this is crucial, refining your input based on the output. It's a loop.
Right, not a one-off command. Second is AI tool fluency. You don't have to be a developer, but you do need to be comfortable using things like co-pilots and research assistants for just daily efficiency. Summarizing a 2-hour meeting, drafting a quick email, it just accelerates everything.
And third, and maybe the most important for job security, data literacy. Because AI can be confidently, beautifully, and sometimes just disastrously wrong. You have to know how to interpret the data, question the quality, and never ever blindly trust the outputs.
And that data literacy point is where the whole ethics conversation comes in. It's not a philosophical debate anymore. It's an engineering as a note and a client trust requirement.
How do you mean?
Well, as businesses integrate AI, their customers demand proof that these systems are behaving responsibly. So it becomes an engineering challenge. How do you embed ethical guardrails into the models, especially when they encounter a situation they weren't specifically trained on? If you can't guarantee ethical data handling, you can't sell your service.
That makes perfect sense. So once you have that foundation, you can move on to the high value skills, the ones that command the premium rates.
Right. And the biggest moneymaker here right now is automation workflow design. This is where you understand how to string together simple automations using low-code platforms. Things like Zapier, which is like a digital plumber for your apps, or UiPath.
The key is moving beyond just doing a task to building a system that removes friction, like automating the entire lead intake process for a small business. A form gets filled out, Zapier creates a customer file, sends an email, schedules a task. That's priceless to a business owner.
And finally, the ultimate high-value skill is AI-human collaboration. This is really the art of delegation. Knowing when to hand a task to AI for speed, like a first draft, versus when human nuance, empathy, or judgment is needed to finish the work with meaning.
So the multi-skilled operator wins. Don't just be a designer. Be a designer who understands conversion data. Don't just be a bookkeeper. Be a bookkeeper who manages AI-assisted quality assurance.
Exactly. Blending those disciplines is what justifies the higher rate.
Speaking of rates, let's transition from skills to dollars. The specialized market is commanding some serious money. Our sources show the U.S. average freelance rate rose almost 12% in 2025. It's now averaging between $50 and $60 an hour.
That's a huge jump. It tells us clients are willing to pay a premium for someone who can leverage AI to deliver in 1 hour what used to take 4. If you can combine your expertise with that AI toolkit, these niches offer really high margins.
Let's start with the professional end. Virtual bookkeeping and accounting. This requires specialized knowledge, QuickBooks, Zero. But because AI handles a lot of the transaction sorting, your main job becomes quality assurance. This lets you handle way more clients and command great rates. We're seeing $12 to $32 an hour for routine stuff, but over $75 an hour for high-level consulting.
And related to that, there's this explosion in demand for digital decluttering and organization. I have to admit, my own cloud storage is a digital landfill. My inbox is a disaster.
You and me both. So it makes total sense that busy professionals are paying specialists $50 to $100 an hour just to tame their chaotic inboxes and organize their cloud storage. It's a high-trust, high-rate service.
And that links right back to our high-value skill, AI automation consulting. This is a rising star. These are people who specialize in those low-code tools like Zapier or Notion AI to build customized systems for businesses. They don't write code, they build intelligent systems.
Okay, so beyond professional services, the creator economy has shifted, and this is a huge opportunity. The era of the famous influencer it's kind of fading.
It really has. Influencing is out. User-generated content, or UGC, is massively in. Brands have realized that polished ads are often ignored. They want authentic, relatable content, videos filmed by regular people using their products.
And the key insight here is that UGC just converts better. So brands are hiring freelancers to film simple product reviews. You don't need followers, you just need a decent phone and the ability to follow a creative brief. The best creators are earning anywhere from $150 to $600, sometimes more per video clip.
Another great low-barrier entry point here is the Amazon Influencer Program. This lets anyone upload short, helpful product review videos that Amazon puts right on the product pages. If someone watches your video and then buys, you get a commission. And again, zero social media following is required to get started.
Moving to products, digital goods are still the ultimate scalable hustle. Create templates, printables, spreadsheets once, and sell them forever on Etsy or whatever. But here's the big insight. Success requires targeting things people are already searching for.
We've seen so many examples of this. Creating a generic course on, slay your selfies requires a ton of ad spend to find an audience. But creating a very specific digital product, like a printable cheat sheet for the best camera settings for a specific camera at golden hour, people are already looking for that. They'll pay a premium for that targeted knowledge.
And let's not forget the hands-on stuff. Furniture flipping still averages a profit of $100 to $400 per piece. It's accessible, it's creative.
And if you have a truck or an SUV, the even more structured version is reselling returned furniture. Companies like ShareTown need local reps to pick up, clean, and resell gently used returns from online businesses. It's a great model. It nets you 150 to 250 bucks profit per item, and you don't even pay for the inventory until after it sells.
That's a great low-risk model. Okay, let's switch gears to the ultra-flexible, quick cash category, the jobs that offer immediate financial flexibility.
Yeah, this is the world of task apps and logistics. Local service apps like Angie Services can pay you up to $45 an hour as a handy person, maybe $22 an hour for cleaning. They vet the contractors, which gives clients trust and lets you charge more.
And then you have the flexible task apps like TaskRabbit. These offer huge flexibility, and earnings can reach up to $100 an hour for specialized skills, like complex furniture assembly.
And of course, the tried and true logistics apps are still solid. Food delivery like DoorDash or Uber Eats and rideshare apps still reliably generate income in that $20 to $30 an hour range.
And for the truly bizarre, I read about services for professional queuing, standing in line for someone else, or working as a lost property courier. It's absurd, but it's real.
If there's a problem, there's a gig for it. That's the core appeal.
So as this all goes mainstream, we have to talk about the regulatory environment, specifically taxes. Let's talk about that new no tax on tips deduction.
Right, and we have to report impartially on this. It's a new tax provision in the U.S. It's designed to boost the paychecks of eligible workers, so food service, delivery, beauty, transport, by letting them deduct a larger portion of the reported tips on their federal taxes.
So if someone is relying on DoorDash for that $900 buffer we talked about, how does this actually affect their bottom line?
It's a dollar-for-dollar benefit. It lowers their taxable income, which increases their take-home pay. And crucially, the full deduction applies to income up to $100,000, and then it phases out completely at $150,000. So this is specifically designed to maximize the benefit for working families and middle-income tipped workers.
That's a really vital piece of information for anyone in those service segments. It directly reinforces the value of keeping those apps in your portfolio.
Indeed. It means more money stays in the pockets of workers in these highly flexible jobs.
So when we tie all this together, what does this roadmap mean? The future of earning is about blending your existing skills with these new AI tools and understanding the market. You use freelancing for strategic resilience, you dive into niches for high income, and you leverage apps for fast flexibility.
And that brings us to the final, provocative layer, regulation. If the gig economy is the backbone of modern work, how is the world adjusting? The International Labor Organization, that's the UN Agency for Labor Standards, began formal discussions in 2025 to establish international guidance on platform worker protections.
Guidance on what specifically? What are the pressure points?
Things like fair pay standards, access to social protections like pensions and insurance, and just clarity on working conditions. The tension is always, how do you offer protection without destroying the flexibility that makes the whole thing work? This is creating this really complex country-by-country patchwork of legal obligations. And that tightrope walk between protection and flexibility, that's going to define the next decade of independent work.
Fascinating. So you now have the full map for 2026. You have the skills to focus on, the niches that pay best, and an understanding of the changing landscape. So what stands out to you? We really want to know which of these 2026 hustles you're going to try first. Leave a comment below with your plans, like this deep dive if it helped you map out your next move, and follow us so you never miss another crucial insight on Income After Hours.